Hello and welcome to my shed. So in this episode we're going to be adding some more to this arcade machine. Last episode we sort of finished up the sides, finished up by routing this slot in the side here for the T-moulding that goes around the edges, and on this episode hopefully we're going to make it into an actual box. But before we do that, I've got a problem with the TV. Now this is TV, the display for the arcade machine. That goes in somewhere like this, a bit like that, but the box is going to be 2 foot wide. It's the width of the MDF sheets that I've got, so the actual TV is a bit wider than that. So we're going to have to take a little slot out of each side, hopefully without going through, and so just to accommodate the edges of the TV. So let's get on with that. Thank you. Okay, I marked out where the TV is going to go. It's going in at a slight angle. It's about 400mm high, about 40mm wide, maybe 50 just to give us on the safe side. That should give us enough room to get the TV in. These two boards still screwed together, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill holes through each of the corners. That'll give me a mark on the other side, so I can route that out on this side, route it out on the other side, and then hopefully when the sides are in, or the bottom is, we got enough room to finagle the TV in. So we've got the two sides marked out now, so a bit of routing now. Take 10mm out of there. This is 18mm ply, so it shouldn't be too bad. We should have enough strength. Okay, that is the slots cut out, both sides. It's really hard with that router to get them nice looking. I suppose I could clamp different bits of wood around the outside, but I don't have enough clamps, and this is okay. The depth looks good. So, I'm a lot happier about being able to fit the TV in. Let's put some bottoms and sides on this, front and backs on this arcade machine. We screwed these on the bottom here. I don't know if you can see those. Let me just see. There we go. I think that might work. So we screwed these on here. This is just to hide the rebate where the backlights go. So we're going to put a baseboard, something like this. Obviously that gets chopped down a bit. One there, and that'll give us our basic frame. Then we can put the front and back on. Everything's held in place by these little buttons. They slip on here, and then the boards will screw to those. So, but first we need to separate these two boards, the sides rather. We need to separate the sides so that we can turn them inside out and put them together. Without knocking anything over. Aha, there we go, split. Now let's put the bottom in. So that's the first base bit on. This base screwed into battens running alongside each side. Starting to take a bit of shape now. I can't really get a big wide shot of it, but there we go. TV will sit in there. Control panels, lovely. So the next bit to do, just to make this a bit more stable, is to put the bottom of the drawer in. So the drawer runs on a board that sits in here, so that's the next one to do. Right, that's the second bit in. It's a bit more stable now. It's a bit dodgy putting that in. It was all over the place, so that's where the drawer sits on basically. We're eventually going to cut a notch out in here for wires and power and all that sort of thing, but for now it's a little bit more stable. I think the next thing to do is to put the back on. Now the back's made of 12mm MDF, and I'll have to go and get that from the garage because it's another big piece of MDF, and I'm running out of room in here. So I'll be back when I've got that done. So this is 12mm MDF. Made it 12mm just to try and keep down on the weight, because this thing gets really heavy. It won't make that much difference, but it might help. Everything little helps. So this bit slots in there. And if I've done it all right, ugh, come on, there we go. It slots in there. So a few more of those buttons on the inside, which you can't see, and then we screw that in that way. All the screws get filled in before it gets painted, so I'm not too worried about little holes like this on the screw heads. We're going to countersink these ones in just to give us a bit more filler, so that it doesn't just pop out and see all the screws. But the back, once the back's in, that should square it up and give it a lot of strength and rigidity, which means I don't have to be quite so careful moving it about. It's going to have some strength to it. Okay, so buttons and the back. Now the interesting thing, I've got to cut this, so because the top actually comes down on an angle, I've got to really cut this at an angle so that they meet nicely. That should be interesting. We'll see about that. Cheers. So we're going to cut the end off this back piece. Now this is a slopey cut, so if you can see that, it's not at 90 anymore. Getting that angle, pain in the butt, but it should be alright. It'll be underneath everything, so we'll see how this goes. Not entirely sure where this is going to cut, so it might be a bit short. We'll see. Perhaps a smidge on the short side, but never mind. Now, let's fit that. Okay, right. So I think we're a tad high this side, but that'll be okay. We can work that out. Just got to square it up and we'll stick it on. Right, that's the back panel screwed on. It's a lot more steady now. Right, I'm going to leave that to dry. There's a bit of glue in there actually between the joints. So I'm going to leave that to dry for a bit, then it'll be really solid. And then we can get on with putting the TV in. So the TV's going to sit in there, but I've got to build a frame of some sort. We've built a sort of shelf. There's these brackets, bits of wood here on the edge of the rebate. There's a bit of a shelf here and a lip. That sits on the main runners for the control board. So now, if I get the TV, if I can get it without knocking the camera over, the TV should fit in there. And that's pretty good, actually. I'm surprised. That's pretty good. So, one of the things we learnt from last time when we built this was there's an acrylic sheet that goes over the top of this just to hide the fact that it's a TV. And that wasn't fixed down well enough, so the plan will be to run probably some beading down the front, can't see that, down the front of here, which means the acrylic can actually be fixed in more places. Probably run acrylic across there, and we definitely need something along the bottom. We've got the TV in with a monitor. We're just blocking up around here, preparing for the timber, the MDF board that goes in across here. Of course, this will be sort of an acrylic bit, just making sure. And if we go down a bit, there we go. This bit here, this is for the control panel with joysticks, etc. And that's where we're getting to. Thank you for watching. Next time we'll be putting on the top and the front, as well as working on the control panel to see what we can come up with there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.